1A. Outlook. The iSightCornwall newsletter. Autumn-Winter 2025. My name is Daniel, and I'm a volunteer at iSightCornwall. Inside this issue, we bring you a roundup of this year's AGM, including our volunteer awards, details of a new talking book club, and all the news from around the charity. We start with an introduction from Chief Executive Carol Theobald. As always at this time of year, I'd like to thank everyone who came along to our AGM on Friday the 10th of October. It was another successful event, with over 100 members and volunteers joining us as we looked back over the achievements of the past year and celebrated our amazing volunteers. We also had to say goodbye to 2 trustees who have sadly reached the end of their terms on the board. William Westlake originally joined us in 2009 and completed 2 7-year terms on the board before retiring in October. Claire Green joined us in 2019 and, as well as being our finance trustee, became chair of the board earlier this year. Claire is handing over the role of chair to Mel Richardson. For those of you who are unable to join us at the AGM, there is a special date to put in your diaries for 2026. Next year we will be combining our AGM with a special celebration to mark the charity's 170th birthday. Instead of meeting in October, we will hold the event on Thursday the 17th of September, which is the anniversary of the very first meeting of the Society for the Itinerant Teaching of the Blind in the County of Cornwall to read the sacred scriptures and to write, which is what we were called in 1856. We're hoping you can join us for a day of celebration and possibly a few surprises too. In the meantime, have a wonderful Christmas and a very happy New Year. Carol Theobald, Chief Executive. 1B. Meet our new trustee, Nick Buckland, OBE. We're delighted to welcome Nick Buckland to the board as our new finance trustee. Nick brings plenty of experience as a chair, non-executive director, and charity trustee across multiple sectors, both locally and nationally. His understanding of governance, strategy, and financial management will be invaluable to the charity and our chief executive. Nick was drawn to iSightCornwall's mission through personal experience. His wife is deaf, giving him insight into the barriers and opportunities faced by people with sensory impairments. He is passionate about diversity and believes lived experience leads to better, more inclusive solutions. With over 20 years in the IT industry, Nick was appointed OBE in the 2009 New Year Honours List in recognition of his services to innovation and technology. He has been co-opted onto the board, and members will have the opportunity to vote on his appointment at the next AGM. New podcast. Trustee Beatrix Love has been speaking with us on our new podcast about engaging with healthcare when you have sight loss. Beatrix discusses her experience of attending cancer screenings since she lost her sight and how hospital appointments can be made more accessible. Listen now at www.cornwall.org.uk/blog. 2A. Latest news. VAT in your purchases. We've recently become VAT registered, which means we now need to charge VAT on products sold in our site centre and online shop in the same way that other charities, such as the RNIB and Macular Society, do. But if you're blind, partially sighted, or have another disability, you may not need to pay VAT on certain items. Some products, such as liquid level indicators, symbol canes and USB speakers, are specifically designed for people with disabilities and therefore qualify for VAT exemption. If you're buying these items for yourself or on behalf of someone with a disability, you will not be charged the VAT. Items that are not specifically designed for people with sight loss, such as Christmas cards, are not eligible for VAT exemption so everyone pays the same price for these items. If you are buying from us in person, our team will let you know which items are VAT exempt. If you are buying online, eligible products display both the prices. You will be able to claim VAT exemption on these products when you reach the checkout page. 2B. New Talking Book Club. A new Talking Book Club has been launched in Newquay thanks to iSightCornwall trustee Beatrix Love. Beatrix wanted to create a club for fellow blind and partially sighted book lovers to meet in person and discuss their shared interest. The club meets once a month in Newquay Library, which kindly lets them use the space for free. Beatrix has registered the book club with the RNIB's Talking Book service, which means that once a book has been chosen, it is automatically sent out to all of the club members at once. The Talking Book service is a free service for blind and partially sighted people that sends audio versions of books through the post, via either a CD or a USB stick, which can be played using a USB speaker. Beatrix said, "I wanted an in-person group where we can support each other and talk about our love of books, rather than just our sight loss. I've always been a massive book lover, and since I lost my sight, I've found that the Talking Book service has given me such a lifeline, and I wanted to spread that to those people in my local area. We would love to open book clubs in other areas across Cornwall, so if you're interested in getting one started near you, please get in touch on 01872 261110. 2C. Social media star. Earlier this year, we created a TikTok channel to try and reach a new audience with our video content. If you're not familiar with TikTok, it's a social media app that lets users watch and share videos and is predominantly used by 18 to 35-year-olds. To be perfectly honest, we weren't expecting to reach a large audience with our channel, so it came as quite a surprise when a video of our assistive technology advisor, Dom, explaining how to use Windows Magnifier reached 100,000 views in just one day. But this was just the beginning. Dom has become something of a TikTok sensation, with videos of him explaining how to use the accessibility features of popular online games, often reaching 250,000 people. One video was watched by over 2 million people, meaning we've officially gone viral. In just over 2 months, we reached over 4 million people and have more than 3 times as many followers than we do on Facebook. We've also received donations from all over the country and as far afield as Slovenia, from people who want to thank Dom for sharing his knowledge and expertise. If you want to find out more, you can follow us at tiktok.com/@ the letter I, the word sight, the word Cornwall. 2D. Tactile art. Touching the paintings at an art exhibition is normally prohibited, but thanks to local artist Kate Cambridge, it was actively encouraged at her Trees and Memories of Cornwall exhibition in Truro. Kate approached us earlier this year after reading about the Echoes of Blossom workshop that some of our members attended. Inspired by making nature more accessible for blind and partially sighted people, Kate began thinking about ways to make her artwork more accessible too. She took one of her paintings of an ancient Japanese cedar tree at Trelliset Gardens and, using a special technique, added a raised texture to the artwork to give it a tactile surface. Kate then lent us the painting so that clients could handle it and feed back their interpretation of the artwork. This feedback, along with a description of the painting taken from the Seeing AI app, was displayed next to the artwork in the exhibition. 2E. News in brief. Leach pottery. iSightCornwall members were invited to a series of workshops at the iconic Leach pottery in St Ives where they were given a descriptive tour of the museum before learning some of the techniques used by Bernard Leach and Shoji Hamada, the founders of Leach pottery. They then put some of these techniques to use by creating tiles, which will be used to decorate Leach pottery's new learning and production centre, alongside hundreds of other tiles created by different community groups. Woodland Walk. Some of our Nuki members enjoyed a sensory walk through Carnanton Woods, guided by Maria Hocking, who specifically designed the walk for people with sight loss. It was made possible thanks to the Nuki Tawan Blistra Lions, who not only funded the walk, but also volunteered as guides. Thanks also go to the Nuki Lions Club, who provided the transport. Truro Volunteers Fair. Thank you so much to our volunteers Chris Kemp and David Rendell for helping to run the iSight Cornwall stall at the Truro Volunteers Fair in June. They had some brilliant conversations with people about why they volunteer, and even had a visit from Truro Mayor Chris Wells and Town Crier Lionel Knight. Wildflower planting. Several members and volunteers enjoyed a day planting wildflowers and learning more about the environment around us, thanks to a project run by the Sensory Trust and Imaris Cornwall. The workshop took place at Caer Logus Downs, once an old Imaris sand conveyor tip near St Austell, which was transformed into walking trails by Imaris back in the 1990s. The workshop was run by the Sensory Trust as part of their collective climate repair project. 3A. Fundraising news. Fishboy Penzance. A huge thank you to the team at Fishboy Penzance for choosing iSight Cornwall as one of the charities to benefit from their anniversary celebrations. Fishboy Penzance is an independent clothing store. Current owners Matt and Izzy took over the shop in 2015. So to celebrate 10 years at the helm, they collaborated with 10 different artists to produce 10 different limited edition t-shirt designs. Each artist chose a charity to receive 50% of the profits of their t-shirt sales. iSight Cornwall was chosen by owner and designer Matt McIver himself, as he has lived experience of sight loss after losing the sight in his right eye at 6 months old, due to infantile glaucoma. After the sale of the first 50 t-shirts, Fishboy Penzance made a donation of £540, and they plan to donate more following the sale of the remaining t-shirts. Matt's shopfront t-shirts are still available to buy from the Penzance store or online at www.fishboypz.co.uk. Falmouth Allotments. The members of Falmouth Allotments held a coffee morning and plant sale in aid of iSight Cornwall after one of their members came to the screening of our Because I Cannot See film at the Truro Plaza. Wendy put the charity's name forward to the Falmouth Allotment fundraising committee after hearing the first-hand experiences of the stars of our film and how iSight Cornwall has helped them. The coffee morning raised £450 on the day through plant sales, a raffle and tombola. This increased to £526 thanks to a collection tin that was held at the allotments throughout the summer. Rotary Club of Redruth. The Rotary Club of Redruth donated a fantastic £1,250 to iSight Cornwall, following a quacking good fundraiser. The club held their hugely popular Great Golden Duck Race at Cornwall Gold earlier this year. Over 1,300 rubber ducks lined the start before racing down the Tolga stream towards the finish line, cheered on by hundreds of spectators. Members of the Rotary Club were on hand all day, manning the start and finish lines, selling ducks and raffle tickets, as well as helping direct the crowds. The event raised a total of £2,500, which was divided equally between iSight Cornwall and Literacy in a Box. Redruth Rotary President Humphrey Henry presented iSight Cornwall Chief Executive Carol Theobald with a cheque for £1,250 following the event. 3B. Community fundraising. Thank you to everyone who has been raising money for iSightCornwall, including the Porthleven Christadelphians and members of Mornan Church, who raised £225 and £94 respectively through coffee mornings. The Lana Methodist Wives Group raised £100 for iSightCornwall with their collection and invited us to give a talk at their September meeting where they presented speaker Jody Strick with a cheque. Connor Downs and Gwithian WI also presented Jody with a cheque for £200 at their October meeting, which they raised at their summer cream tea. Tesco store collection. Thanks also goes to our wonderful volunteers, Rosemary, Tony and Tina, who helped us raise £72 at our store collection in Cambourne Tesco. 3C. Thanks to our supporters. Connor Downs and Gwithian WI, Falmouth Allotments, Fishboy Penzance, Lana Methodist Wives, Leek Seed Methodist Church, Liz's Quizzes, Mornan Church, Newquay Friendship Group, Newquay Lions Club, Newquay Town Blistra Lions Club, Porthleven Christadelphians, Redruth Rotary Club, St Mila Church, Stithians Coffee Stop Group. 4A. Accessibility advice. No one else in Cornwall does what we do, which is why more and more organisations are coming to us for expert advice. We've been working with local and national partners who want to learn more about the barriers blind and partially sighted people face and the impact this has, particularly when it comes to accessing services. Our expert advice helps them to develop solutions that are inclusive, practical and shaped by lived experience. Here are just some of the projects we've been working on recently. Pigs Hill and Clarick Woods. We were contacted by the directors of the Pigs Hill and Clarick Woods CIC, who wanted advice on how to make the woodland more accessible for blind and partially sighted visitors. iSightCornwall team members Dom, Lauren and Jody visited the woods, situated on the Rame Peninsula, for a tour of the area to find out more about the accessibility challenges faced in this area of outstanding natural beauty. The team advised on some of the practical problems of navigating the area with sight loss, such as the uneven terrain, which could be addressed with boardwalk areas and handrails, all of which could be made from wood sustainably harvested from the site. The focus then switched to navigating the different walking routes, which are marked with wooden signposts. The directors were keen to learn about NaviLens codes, which gives navigational information such as distance and direction when scanned with an app on a smartphone. Adding NaviLens codes to each signpost would help blind and partially sighted people to navigate the area more easily. 4B. Cobar Valley Health. A new GP practice has opened in Helston, and we were very pleased to have been invited to advise on accessibility before the practice opened. The project team got in touch with us to ask about signage in the practice. We advised them to pick high contrasting colours to make the signs easier for partially sighted people to read. They added a bold black border around each sign to make them stand out more and added tactile high contrast signage on each of the doors in the surgery. 4C. Experience Truro Differently Days. The team at Access Cornwall invited us to take part in their Experience Truro Differently Days, where key decision makers for Truro were given the opportunity to experience the challenges faced by many disabled people for themselves. Members of Truro Council, CorServe, Truro Bid and Transport Services at Cornwall Council were given different tasks to complete in the city centre, whilst either using a wheelchair or wearing sim specs, and being guided as though they were visually impaired. One of iSightCornwall's accessibility advisors, Jody Strick, guided Mayor of Truro, Councillor Chris Wells, around the city centre whilst he wore glasses that simulated different eye conditions. They had to navigate cobbled streets, A-frames, wheelie bins and scaffolding posts, among other things. The day gave the participants an important insight into the barriers faced when navigating Truro city centre, which they will be more aware of when it comes to planning and decision making in future. 5. AGM. iSightCornwall's 168th Annual General Meeting, AGM, was another resounding success after members, volunteers and staff gathered to celebrate the work of the charity and to help shape its future. The morning opened with a welcome from Chief Executive Carol Theobald, who discussed the work that the charity has been doing and also put a spotlight on the importance of volunteers. Carol revealed that together, iSightCornwall volunteers give more than 11,000 hours of their own time every year. She also gave a special thanks to the volunteers from Aspect Holidays and Reynolds and Slater's Opticians, two local businesses who use their employee volunteer days to donate their time to iSightCornwall and help at the event, keeping attendees topped up with hot drinks and biscuits, as well as Hobie and Josh from Cabin Fever Audio, who donated their time and expertise to ensure the microphones and sound systems worked flawlessly. Following a rousing sing-along from iSightCornwall's singing group Bliss Singers, including the all-important Trelawney, outgoing chair Claire Green then guided the attendees through the AGM part of the morning, where members voted to elect 4 new trustees to the board. Mel Richardson, Beatrix Love, Rhys Morris and Jared Love, as well as the reappointment of Marcus Slater. The new trustees are filling the gaps left by William Westlake and Claire Green, who have sadly reached the end of their terms on the board. Carol then gave her review of the year, which is detailed in Chapter 6. Following the closure of official proceedings, the next order of business was to celebrate the good work of some of the 150 volunteers as part of the annual iSightCornwall Volunteer Awards. Volunteers who had reached a milestone year, from 10 years right up to 25 years, were thanked and given an Outstanding Contribution Certificate, as well as an iSightCornwall Volunteer Pin Badge. Other awards included the Special Recognition Awards for those volunteers who had gone the extra mile this year, and the Members' Choice Award, voted by the iSightCornwall members themselves. You can hear all about the winners in Chapter 7. Lunch saw everyone tucking into a pasty with plenty of time to chat before moving on to a new addition for this year: a quiz. Each table went head-to-head with multiple rounds, putting their general knowledge, Cornish facts, and musical memory to the test. Finally, the day closed with dancing led by Townsend Dance Club, which saw a full dance floor as members, volunteers and iSightCornwall staff members joined in the fun. Carol said, "I'd like to thank everyone who came along to our AGM. It was another successful event with over 100 members and volunteers joining in as we looked back over the achievements of the past year and celebrated our amazing volunteers. We're already looking forward to next year, where there will be a special date put in your diaries, as we will be combining our AGM with a special celebration to mark the charity's 170th birthday. Save the date. Thursday the 17th of September 2026. 6. Chief Executive's Annual Report. Looking back, moving forward. As we look ahead to our 170th anniversary in 2026, it feels like the perfect moment to pause and reflect on everything we've achieved together over the past year. It's been a year of growth, connection, and meaningful change, all made possible by the incredible people who make up our iSightCornwall community. Delivering services across a rural county like Cornwall isn't always straightforward, but our team continues to rise to the challenge, finding new ways to meet growing demand and ensuring that no one faces sight loss alone. Whether someone is newly diagnosed or has been living with sight loss for years, we're here to offer support, guidance and practical help, wherever they live and whatever their circumstances. Over the past 12 months, we've responded to more than 4,500 phone calls and 1,500 emails, helping people navigate everything from benefits advice to assistive technology. We've sourced, demonstrated and provided over 700 pieces of equipment, each one tailored to meet individual needs and improve daily life. Our technology service continues to be a lifeline for many, offering personalised advice, training and equipment loans. Whether it's learning computer skills, exploring accessible apps, or finding the right magnifier, our team is there to help at the Sight Centre, in people's homes and out in the community. We've also taken our services on the road, expanding our programme of drop-in events to reach more local communities. These events are a great way for people to connect with our team, ask questions, and try out equipment in a friendly, informal setting. One of the most impactful developments this year has been the reinstatement of our welfare and benefits support service. After a 5-year pause, we're once again helping people navigate the often complex benefits system, complete applications, and access to financial support they're entitled to. It's a vital service that reduces stress and helps people feel more secure. Our partnership with the Royal Cornwall Hospital Eye Clinic continues to grow stronger. Our Eye Care Liaison Officer, Tara Butler, supported over 900 individuals this year and managed a registration of 369 patients. Her work ensures that people receive timely, compassionate support at a critical moment in their sight loss journey. We've also been busy delivering low vision clinics across the county, making sure that everyone has access to assessments, equipment and advice to help them make the most of their remaining sight. Magnification and lighting remain essential tools, and our team is skilled in helping people find the right solutions for everyday tasks. But support isn't just about equipment and advice. It's also about connection. Our social and activity-based services continue to play a vital role in helping people lead fulfilling, independent lives. Our Walking Buddies service is thriving, with volunteers helping individuals get out and about safely and confidently. Our clubs and groups offer everything from music and sports to lunch outings and seasonal activities like sensory walks, seated surfing, and touch tours at Cornwall's most iconic historic sites. Behind the scenes, we work hard to ensure everything runs smoothly, from volunteer recruitment and training to DBS checks and insurance. It's all part of creating a safe, supportive environment for everyone involved. Speaking of volunteers, we're incredibly lucky to have over 150 amazing people who give their time, energy and kindness to support our work. Whether they're driving clients to appointments, visiting people at home, recording our Outlook magazine, helping with admin, or supporting events and fundraising, they're at the heart of everything we do. We've also made big strides online. Our new website is fully accessible across all devices, making it easier for people to find information, shop for daily living aids, and access our magazine in both digital and audio formats. One of our goals was to increase donations, and we've done just that, with average monthly donations rising from just £10 in 2023 to £226 in 2025. We introduced a secure digital referral system too, making it quicker and easier for health and optical professionals to connect people to our services. And we've been out in the community, delivering tailored sight loss awareness training to organisations like Newquay Airport, the NHS, and local care agencies. These sessions are helping staff better understand sight loss and provide more respectful, accessible support to their clients and customers. We're proud to be part of a wider network of learning and collaboration, Our involvement with Visionary and the Southwest Regional Group keeps us connected to best practices and new ideas. We also co-chair the Cornwall Disability Alliance, a respected county-wide body supporting people with long-term health conditions and disabilities. One of our proudest achievements this year was the launch of Cornwall's first complete guide to sight loss services. It's a clear, accessible resource that helps people understand what support is available and how to find it, from diagnosis to rehabilitation and everyday living. We also premiered our new film, Because I Cannot See, at Truro Plaza Cinema. It shares the real-life stories of our members and shows the life-changing impact of local support. It's already inspiring action and helping raise vital donations to keep our services going. Yes, there will be challenges ahead, especially around funding, but we're feeling optimistic. We have the right people, the right services, and most importantly, the right vision. Together, we're not just continuing the legacy of iSightCornwall, we're shaping a brighter, more inclusive future for people with sight loss across Cornwall. 7A. Volunteer Awards. It's always a highlight of the AGM when we come to honour our amazing volunteers. Here are this year's winners. Outstanding Contribution Award, presented to our valued volunteers who have reached a milestone in their time with iSightCornwall. Chris Kemp. Chris has been a driver and a helper at both Bug Shooting Club and Bliss Singers, where he is now also the club treasurer. He also drives clients to their hospital appointments and even stepped up to become a temporary member of the assistive technology team for a short while, helping Dom with home visits. Chris received the Outstanding Contribution Award for 10 years of volunteering. Jill Raftery. Jill has been volunteering at Launceston Lunch Club for the past 10 years, stepping up to run the club with her husband Paul in 2022. Jill was also a volunteer at Bug Shooting Club for several years, including a spell as the club organiser for that club too. At one point, Jill was juggling the organisation of both clubs at the same time. Jill received the Outstanding Contribution Award for 10 years of volunteering. Paul Raftery. Paul became a volunteer just a few months after Jill, and we're very grateful he followed in his wife's footsteps, because they make a great team. Paul is a driver for Launceston Lunch Club and helps to organise it with Jill. He also used to drive members from Launceston St Austell, where he ran Bug Shooting Club with Jill. Paul received the Outstanding Contribution Award for 10 years of volunteering. Henry Tabb. Henry joined Bugle Blues in 2005 as a volunteer helper and has been at the club ever since, including several years as club secretary. He has tried retiring several times, but the club won't let him, and he's now the club's president. Henry received the Outstanding Contribution Award for 20 years of volunteering. Ivor Rice. Ivor was a founding member of Bug Shooting Club and Bugle Blues Bowling, taking on a number of important committee roles at each club. He also represented each of the clubs in national and international competitions. Whilst being an active club member, he also joined the charity's Board of Trustees between 2005 and 2011. Ivor's health has caused him to step back from active volunteering duties recently, but he was a deserving recipient of the Outstanding Contribution Award for 25 years of volunteering. 7B. Special Recognition Award, presented to volunteers who have gone above and beyond for people living with sight loss. Alison Cowlishaw. Alison didn't plan on becoming a volunteer, but was persuaded to join us after her husband Andy became a walking buddy for the charity and mentioned that his wife had experience of running dance clubs. Within a couple of months, Alison was helping out as a volunteer at Townsend Dance Club. Then last year, when Lindsay Rodder stood down from running the club, Alison became the club organiser. Alison received the Special Recognition Award for everything she's done for the club. Richard King. Richard has been a volunteer driver for Saltash Baps for many years and regularly picks up members to take them to the club. Richard does a huge round trip every fortnight to collect the members who live further afield and take them home again. Richard was awarded the Special Recognition Award. Babs Martin. Babs started volunteering in 2018 and was originally recruited to play the music for the Townsend Dance Club, but before long she was teaching the dancers too, and is still leading the way 7 years later, which is why she received the Special Recognition Award. David Rendell. David was our Falmouth Hospital desk volunteer for 5 years, before he took a step back from volunteering. But he didn't stay retired for long, because a few months later, he signed up to become a volunteer driver. David is always happy to pick up clients, take part in a store collection, or represent iSightCornwall at a charity open event. He was presented with a Special Recognition Award for everything he does on behalf of iSightCornwall. Richard Topham. Richard may only have been volunteering with us for a couple of years, but we've kept him very busy in that time. He is a volunteer driver and walking buddy and has also been a telephone befriender too. Richard is always happy to drive clients to appointments and is a stand-in driver for Townsend Dance Club when any of their regular drivers are away. Richard was presented with a Special Recognition Award. 7C, Members' Choice Award. This is a special award chosen by the iSightCornwall members and presented to the volunteers who have made the biggest difference to them. James Pearce. James was nominated for this award by his walking buddy, who appreciates being able to go to the beach again, and is gaining more and more confidence each time they go out. Henry Tabb. Henry was nominated by a member of Bugle Blues Bowling for his patience and guidance when teaching them to bowl. Henry always welcomes new members to the club and spends time with them on the training mat to help build their confidence. Martin Wayman. Martin was nominated by his walking buddy who said, "Martin has become so much more than a volunteer to me. He has become a friend. Martin has really helped me feel less isolated. Your home can easily become a jail when you have sight loss, but Martin has given me the key." 8. Assistive technology. Accessible shopping apps. Technology is playing a growing role in making shopping more accessible for blind and partially sighted people, both in-store and online. Many of the electronic devices that we use, like smartphones, tablets and computers, come equipped with built-in accessibility features. Additionally, there are a range of apps that can be downloaded onto a smartphone to provide assistance. Our Assistive Technology Advisor, Dom, has summarized some of the key features of the free smartphone apps that can help make in-store shopping a more accessible experience. Seeing AI. This app has many uses, including a text-to-speech feature, which will convert printed text to audio. So if you hover over the small print on packaging or shelf labels, this app will read it aloud for you. The Describe feature uses artificial intelligence, AI, to audibly describe images. So if you take a photo of a supermarket shelf, you will get an audio description of what products are on the shelf and where they are positioned. It also has an easy-to-use barcode scanner, which recognizes most brand name and supermarket-owned products. This is particularly useful to help differentiate between variations of similar products. Another useful feature is currency recognition. If you hover your phone over your banknotes, it will tell you the value of the note, so you can be sure you're handing over the correct money. HW Explore. This app, provided by Humanware, turns your phone's camera into a basic electronic magnifier. It allows you to magnify up to 8 times the size. You can use the freeze frame button to capture and hold an image on screen, and you can turn on the phone's torch to improve visibility in dimly lit aisles. This app is only as good as your phone's camera and screen resolution, so clarity may vary by phone. NaviLens. This app connects with unique, scannable codes on packaging that can be read from a distance or at an angle, meaning that you don't need to be too accurate with your scanning. Many brands such as Kellogg's, Nestle and Coca-Cola have already incorporated NaviLens codes into their packaging. The codes are made up of pink, blue and yellow blocks on a black background, and when scanned, provide all the information associated with that product, such as product name, ingredients and nutritional information. The information is displayed on your phone screen and is also read aloud. Be My Eyes. Be My Eyes is an app that connects users with a sighted volunteer via a live video call. The volunteer can then help identify products, read labels, and even assist with navigating the supermarket. A recently introduced feature is Be My AI, which works in the same way as Seeing AI to provide an instant image description without needing to connect to a volunteer. Google Gemini. Google has introduced an AI assistant that can be downloaded as an app called Gemini. The live chat feature enables you to ask questions about the image in front of you, so you could use it to differentiate between 2 flavors of soup or determine the price of an item. You can also use it for navigation. So if, for example, you came to a set of stairs, you could ask how many stairs there are and whether they are going up or down. To use this feature, some usable vision is required to locate and activate the camera button within the app. Once enabled, you can essentially have a conversation with the app, asking follow-up questions to the information you are given. If you would like to find out more about any of these apps, or would like advice on the different types of mobile phones, please contact our assistive technology team on 01872 26 1110. 9A. Benefits Roundup. Upcoming changes to working age benefits. The Department of Work and Pensions, DWP, are continuing to phase out older-style working-age benefits and are instead migrating recipients across to universal credit. This means if you receive housing benefit, income-related employment and support allowance (ESA), tax credits, income support, or income-based job seekers allowance, you will soon receive a letter known as a migration notice. This letter will outline how to migrate across and will give you a deadline of 3 months to do so. Once you receive the letter, you have a choice to either proceed via the telephone or online. Whichever option you choose will be how you interact with your benefits going forward, so only choose online if you have access to the internet at home. The migration process is not a reassessment of your benefits, and the DWP state that the amount of money you receive should not change. There are some changes to be aware of, however. By default, universal credit is paid monthly rather than every 2 weeks like previous benefits. But you can request for it to be paid fortnightly during your migration phone call or via the online portal. If you currently receive housing benefit, the universal credit payment will not be automatically paid to your landlord or housing association when you migrate, and will instead come to you. Again, you can request for this to be changed during the migration process. If you have any issues or questions about your benefits, call iSightCornwall on 01872 26 1110 to speak with a member of our team. 9B. NHS Transport Claims. If you are in receipt of certain welfare benefits, you may be able to claim back your travel costs from the NHS when attending some hospital appointments under the Healthcare Travel Costs Scheme, HTCS. Criteria. At the time of your appointment, you or your partner must receive one of the qualifying benefits listed below. You must also have been referred to the hospital for treatment or tests from a healthcare professional, e.g. your GP or optician, and your appointment must be on a separate visit to when the referral was made. You must meet all three of these criteria in order to make a claim. You must be in receipt of one of the following benefits to qualify: income support, income-based job seekers allowance, JSA, income-related employment and support allowance, ESA, pension credit guarantee credit, universal credit, and meet the additional criteria. You can also claim for help with travel costs if you have a low income and are named on certificate HC2 full help or HC3 limited help. How to claim. If you are in a hospital which has a cashier's department, e.g. Trelisk, you need to take proof of eligibility, such as a certificate or letter to the cashier's office, along with your travel receipts and appointment letter. They'll assess your claim and make the payment directly to you on the day. This is the easiest way of claiming a refund. If you are in a hospital that doesn't have a cashier's department, you can make a postal claim up to 3 months after your appointment took place. To make a postal claim, call 0300 330 1343 and request to have a large print HC5T travel refund form posted to your address. You'll need to complete the form yourself and send copies of the relevant documents to the address listed on the form. If you're unable to complete the form yourself, let them know when you make the call and they can complete the relevant information for you. They will still need to send the form to your address for signing, and you will then need to return the form and relevant documents. 9C. Clubs and activities. Affiliated clubs. Bliss Singers. Bliss had a special visit from the Mayor of Truro at one of their Tuesday afternoon meetings to honour long-standing volunteer Christine Fuller. Christine has been volunteering at the club for 26 years and counting, which is why she was nominated for a City of Truro Civic Award. She was presented with the award for dedication and service to the City of Truro by the Mayor and Mayoress in front of members of the club. Bugle Blues Bowling Club. The bowling club held a summer social at the Britannia Inn in St Austell after the suggestion was put forward by one of their members. This was the first time they'd gone for a summer lunch, and everyone really enjoyed it. They also recently welcomed a team from Goonbarrow Bowling Club for a friendly indoor bowls competition. Bug Shooting Club. The club was delighted to welcome Andrew Varden from Pinhoe Target Shooting Club near Exeter to a recent meeting. Pinhoe Club had been named as a British shooting disability hub, so Andrew, who is one of their training officers, visited Bugs for some help and advice on setting up a visually impaired section. Andrew was really impressed with the setup at Bugs and said, "I learned a great deal, and the visit has certainly put some oomph behind our efforts to establish a VI section in our club." Dance Club PAR. PAR Dance Club get together on the second Monday of every month from 2 to 4 p.m. They had a special summer party at their July meeting, which everyone thoroughly enjoyed. As well as the dancing, members were treated to some lovely party food, which was organised by the volunteers, and they also welcomed Carol and Sophie from iSightCornwall. Dance Club, Townsend. The members and volunteers of Townsend Dance Club found themselves in the spotlight when ITV West Country came along to one of their meetings to film a piece about the importance of social activities. Driven by the fact that over 50% of blind and partially sighted people feel limited in the activities they can take part in, ITV West Country reporter Cathy Wardle wanted to shine a light on how iSightCornwall is helping to combat this, and the important role that volunteers play in enabling this to happen. Guitar Club. The Guitar Club meet on Friday afternoons in Falmouth. You don't need to have played before or have your own guitar. The club gives you the chance to practice or learn the guitar with other visually impaired people. Launceston Lunch Club. Launceston Lunch Club members and volunteers held their popular summer coffee mornings at the Central Methodist Church to raise funds for the club. There was a raffle and tombola, plus homegrown plants and homemade goodies for sale. The event was a huge success, and it happened to take place during Volunteers Week, so Carol also went along to thank the Launceston Lunch Club volunteers for everything they do at the club. Saltash Baps. Members of the club welcomed Jodie from iSightCornwall to talk to them about the support they can receive from the charity. Afterwards, Jodie passed around a painting by local artist Kate Cambridge, which had a tactile surface, and invited members to touch the painting to see if it helped them form an image of the artwork. The feedback was so well received by the artist that she displayed it next to the painting in her exhibition. Walking Buddies. Walking Buddies is a one-to-one activity where a volunteer will meet you at your house and take you for a walk in your local area. It's perfect for anyone who doesn't feel confident to go out on their own or would welcome some company whilst they are out and about. 9D. Upcoming opportunities. Members are always the first to be offered new opportunities when they come up. Next year we have 2 exciting sessions on offer which are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Tandem cycling. The first one is tandem cycling at Wheel Velocity Youth Cycling Club near Truro on a closed road circuit. Tandems will be provided, and a team of British cycling accredited coaches will be riding tandem with you. It is likely to take place on either an evening or weekend, and any costs are yet to be confirmed, but you can give us a call to add your name to our expression of interest list. Kayaking. The second opportunity is a 2-hour kayaking session at Crantock Beach in May. All kayaking equipment and wetsuits are provided, and you will receive one-to-one supervision in the water from volunteers at Big Green Adventures. Thanks to Newquay Town Blister Alliance, who are contributing to the funding, places will be subsidised. We only have 10 places available, so please let us know as soon as possible if you are interested in taking part. 9E. Non-affiliated clubs. Able Bowling. Able Bowling Club meets fortnightly in Short Lanes Inn Village Hall on Monday afternoons from 2 to 4:30 p.m. Blind at Sea, BATS. BATS is a sailing club for people with sight loss which is based at Myler Yacht Club. They also offer fishing trips and gig rowing. Bude Visually Impaired Support Group. This group meets at Elements Restaurant in Bude on the first Wednesday of the month. They get together for a cuppa and a chat, and they often have guest speakers. Cabs. Cabs Shooting Club meets every Wednesday afternoon at the Rifle Club in Helston. Newquay Talking Book Club. This new Talking Book Club meets in Newquay Library once a month. Books are ordered through the RNIB's Talking Book Service. Sailability. Sailability is an accessible sailing school based in Myler for anyone with a sensory, physical or learning disability. Truro Rifle Club. The club meets every Wednesday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. at the City of Truro Rifle Club near Malpas. 9F. Events Diary 2026. On the 17th of March, we will be in Isambard House, Saltash, between 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. On the 20th of April, we will be in St John's Hall, Penzance, between 11 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. On the 19th of May, we will be in the Passmore Edwards Institute in Hale, between 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. On the 16th of June, we will be in St Austell Library between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. On the 16th of July, we will be in Shire House, Bodmin, between 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. On the 18th of August, we will be in Truro Methodist Church between 11 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Our AGM will be held on the 17th of September in St Erme Community Centre between 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Outlook is also available as large print 16-point colour magazine, large print 22-point plain text, audio USB stick, audio CD, online audio via our website.